Alright, what is going on? So first of the year update video here on the new property, and I know I just put a new video out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm kind of guilty of not watching my own videos. One of my friends messaged me, my good buddy Calvin. He's been helping me and just a friend over the years. He's like, new video's awesome, and kind of sat down and watched it, and I'm like, I watched it last night, and I'm like, wow, a lot's changed since that video. A lot of the things I said in the video have already happened. I think the only thing that hasn't happened yet, but it's happening this week, is that well I was telling you guys about. But we've got the mulch guys stopped. We've got the mulch guys moved, and you can see we've got the cones here going along the pile. And you know, I could sit on this pile a couple of months till we get it moved. Like I talked about in the last video, probably gonna get some dump trucks over here and move this to the back. We do see this as being a prime location for annual vegetable garden. With that being said, you know, I have 6-7 months before that season or time is even here, or this is going to be a nursery area with a long-term goal of still putting that education building, you know, retail / maybe commercial kitchen. We've got a lot of ideas for the building that's going to happen here in the long term, but in the meantime, we've stopped the mulch flow. We've got the guys moving into the back, and I've put up some really good signage around here just so they know where to go, showing them there's another way out. So we've used some plywood and just some bright orange paint, kind of just directing them to the back of the property. And this has been going on for a couple weeks now. I already have a mini mountain, I guess you could say, started back there. Been kind of working on cleaning out under this area. This is the lowest spot on the property. I had been talking about for a while, you know, having shade nursery or demo gardens in here. And we're definitely going to keep this idea of the demo gardens. Definitely going to be planting bamboo along the whole road. Probably 15 or 20 foot off the fence, and have just nice walk paths with a couple of trails growing through, and more or less just some understory demo gardens in this area with natives and edibles. And as we're coming up in over here to this, I guess you could say why, we did finally finish the rest of this mulch pile here on the right. There was another mulch pile there on the right, another one down past that. All three of those are gone. So we've moved a lot of raw organic material. I did get some gravel down like I talked about in the last video. I'll show you what that looks like in its raw form over there. It almost looks just like the old white driveway, but there's a 57 rock on top, and it is way less dusty. I've just kind of skim coated. I've got a lot more to put down. Kind of waiting until the bulk of the construction's down, and I'll do like a final coat. This is going to be our first nursery area. This is where we're going to put in black mat. We're actually going to start this week. I'm going to use all that dirt to kind of raise this area up. That big pile will probably only add about 3 to 4 inches to this entire space. Put a little base on top, and then put our heavy duty weed mat on it. The pine zone will kind of stay. Unfortunately, a couple of these pines look to be dying off. You can see how they have really black trunks on them. This one's completely dead. There was a fire here a couple of years ago. I know a lot of times after there's a fire is when these trees are a little bit more susceptible to the pine beetle. I don't know if that's what's killing these, but the pines are kind of crashing. We'll see. I'm hoping to retain some of these little ones, but that's that black I was talking about on the trunk. And I know these guys can take burn, but I do think that's when that pine beetle does come in. But kind of just hoping to keep a wild native zone here, with the nursery kind of coming all the way around the outside of it. We're going to lose those 2 trees because they're dead. So the nursery space here will be like a big L. And there was another huge mountain of mulch here. This is gone. This is in our new garden plot that just recently got moved. So dirt's going to level out the area. Base and mat, irrigation, stay tuned. I started kind of dipping into this pile last week. And we've only taken 3 or 4 dump truck loads off of it, but I'll probably get rid of the last of this one this week and start working on this one on the next side over. We've got some more windscreen coming up for the fence, just kind of giving us some quick temporary privacy from the road over here. Kind of closes the space in a good bit. And we'll probably start planting some of this fence line here in spring. But most importantly, I'm going to start on the bamboo along the street, bamboo along the backside of the mulch pile / junkyard area, whatever's going on over there next door, and bamboo on this whole north property line. And I've gotten most of this material here burnt that was waiting to go in the fire. We had a nice dry day. Everything but these kind of piles that have a little bit more dirt in them along the side. I just didn't have enough time in the day, and I didn't want to feed it too late in the day. So we're just waiting on another day to have a full time of burning again. So not much left of that pile. Kind of cleared a lot of this open space out here. And we've spent a lot of time picking up just a lot of the raw piles around here. Ooh, I see something over there I forgot to show you guys. That was when we prepped the garden area. We do have a new garden area that's prepped over there. I was able to get my hands on a tiller. And this tiller is way bigger than the BCS tiller. This tiller actually goes onto my my Bobcat. It works really awesome in reverse. Works good both ways, but we found for us, seems to do a better job in reverse. We're not sure if maybe the blades are backwards potentially, I don't know, but when tilling in reverse, this thing does a killer job. This ground is so compacted out here. The BCS is awesome for something that's already been done, or maybe where there's some looser soil, but as far as impacting the ground here and breaking through it, the BCS just was not doing it. This is night and day. I plan on using this for some of our larger install projects, especially if we have lines, something more of a field. We plan on doing like a till prior to the install, maybe 7 to 10 days prior, and then we show up, we'll till it one more time, we actually start planting, and that's what that's going to do. Is it's going to keep all that organic matter in place. Going to save us a lot of time instead of getting there and cutting out all that grass, removing all the grass. I'm going to be able to till it a lot faster, and we should be able to plant right into it. So that is really exciting. I think this is going to be a lot of the shade nursery area. We're going to finish cleaning up a lot of these tree zones. Have a couple of dead trees to get out of here still. Got a lot of logs to move. We'll call these trices logs. I know Ryan's been taking some home too. Lots of firewood, definitely no lack of firewood. But we'll end up with mat throughout a lot of this area, probably beds around all the trees, and just have an area where you can get some salvation from the sun. Come in here and look at plants, pick out your plants. Oh, almost forgot about that rock pile. And I think I even talked about in the last video my exit sign. Got an exit out there on the far side of the property. And this is that 57 rock we just picked up. Got a really good deal on this one too. I think it's ran out though. It was a short-term situation. I believe most of this is pavers, crushed concrete, but there's no dirt in this. This works really good as a top coat, and I think once it rains a couple of times, you'll probably see a little bit more color in the driveway. It won't have a lot of that white to it like it does now. It's quite blinding. Kind of ended up doing a circular driveway so they can come in, they can unhook, they can dump. Said it a couple times, but this is where we probably are going to put our first ag building, and that'll just be for tractors, for storage, wash station, a lot of those farm necessities, and just have a little trailer or something as a temporary farm stand checkout, just to kind of get us going, get the doors open, get this place off the ground. But here's our new mulch pile. So kind of started these guys with dumping out here in the field about 2 weeks ago. This is what they've brought in so far. And they've been bringing us the good stuff. I can tell you right now that this front load right here is stump grindings. I have a stump grinding company that comes in, and he's lucky he's my neighbor. He gets away with the stump every once in a while. Otherwise, I usually wouldn't be too happy about that, but I let Chris slide. He's a good dude. I'll end up putting that in the fire pit, but there's a big difference in the material coming from the stump grinders compared to the chipping companies. This tends to have a little bit more dirt in it, and we just mix it all together. This is probably even more broken down compared to that county stuff over there, which I've talked about a lot. And since my last video, I had a couple people message me, can you give me your contact for the county? I don't have a contact for the county. One guy actually stopped in here while we were doing the clearing, asked me if they could start bringing me material from the county. I was like, heck yeah. There was probably 5-6 different guys delivering it. I haven't seen them since, and I'm guessing when they grind again, maybe they'll reach out, but I don't have a contact for Pasco County. I just got really lucky. Right place, right time. And then as far as the tree guys, I don't know any of these guys other than the stump grinder guy personally. Most of this is Davies Tree Service, and there's a couple other local tree services that are bringing me materials. But we've got our first windrow. Talked about these in the last video. There's at least 500-600 yards of mulch here, and we have a lot of room to expand these windrows. You know, I'm probably going to end up taking a few smaller trees down so we can get more rows going in that way to the north. Then we have rows to either go in between, room, should I say, to put rows in between the trees back here, so we can stack a lot more material in this back area. But we've got a new garden plot. So this was tilled with the tiller for the Bobcat, like I just showed you guys. Did a hard till on it, covered it about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches of mulch. I don't think I got this plot quite as thick as we got the other one. And we just finished this up right before New Year's. I think it was Friday. Still have a little bit of touch up, maybe some trash to pull out of it. But this is the second big garden plot. So stoked about this one. I think it's even a little bit bigger than the other one. Briefly showed you the other one, and it's been settling for a couple weeks. And what we're gonna do with these are, like I mentioned, put some manure down on top of them, probably put some cover crops on them. So we're gonna do some beans, some legumes, some sun hemp on top of that fresh manure. This way we're kind of covering that soil, helping to break down that mulch. And this way when we rip off that cover crop, we'll put a nice fresh coat of compost on there and be ready to start growing some veggies. So here's the one I showed you last time. Not much has changed here. Nothing has popped up. We haven't had any weeds or anything like that come yet. And it's just sitting here breaking down. So I would say end of February, mid-February, we'll look to get the manure on it. And as we're going into spring and we don't have a chance of a frost anymore, we'll put these cover crops on here. And that's just gonna go ahead and protect the soil, help to break down the mulch, get us ready for growing season here next fall. So, whoa, big changes out here on the new property. I can tell you from me actually watching the video myself, I was like, wow, I need to make more update videos. A lot of things have changed in the last couple weeks. I have been shorthanded even working out here. A couple of the guys are on vacation. It's really just me, Nick, and Ryan 3 to 4 days a week out here plugging away. This week our goal is to get some water lines in the ground, get the rest of that windscreen up, get another pile of mulch moved, and start working on that nursery mat. And maybe the following week some more water lines in the ground, although we are starting a project that following week. Leaves me a little less time for my own property, probably only be out here on Friday. Was able to retain a couple of these really nice cedars. And this driveway ended up kind of wide. We were even talking about maybe shifting this pile a little bit this way. The goal with these windrows is to turn them, you know, every few months, so the whole windrow can shift over a length that way or shift over a length this way, and do that with every row as you continue. New root rake. Kick butt. I love that thing. It worked awesome for loading the fire. And I need to get back to work. I just wanted to give you guys an update, show you what is growing on around here, show you what's new. Got my signs up, got some gravel down, got some more mulch moved, got a windrow in, and we got that first garden plot prepped. So big things happening for 2023. Mulch, you gotta guide them. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the update video of the new property. I realize when there's a lot of changes happening here so quickly, I need to make videos a little bit more often, just kind of keep you guys in tune. Like I mentioned, got a big install coming up here next week, actually probably for the next 2 weeks. And guys, we've actually had a couple of reschedules that were for late January, one that was scheduled at the end of February. I have some gaps in the schedule. We aren't 6 months, 9 months booked out. In fact, if you're like a free flow style, project where you don't need a design, sometimes I can even turn those around in 2 weeks. So we have room and time for your projects. Just wanted to put that out there. Guys, more update videos coming, more garden update videos, more install update videos. Most importantly, it's 2023. Get out there, start a garden, start a food forest, pound some dirt.